The Witch Maiden and the Mystery of the Ancient Land. The brass kettle on the table rattled violently, its lid popping open to release a puff of hot steam. Whew! Finally she's gone! Keeping the fire just warm enough all day is so suffocating. It grumbled, releasing a victorious burst of steam to assert its strength. On the kitchen shelf, the stone mortar jumped excitedly, spinning in circles. I used to be a grand sorcerer's enchanted tool for grinding potions. Watch this! It spun a few more times, producing a series of proud, clacking sounds. Not to be outdone, the wooden spoon next to it stretched and twisted, as if shaking off a long slumber. A sorcerer, huh? All you did was crush powders. I, on the other hand, once stirred the legendary elixir of eternal life. From the corner of the room, a leather-bound book suddenly flipped open, its pages fluttering as if an invisible wind had swept through. All this bragging! I contain hundreds of ancient spells. If Selina wanted, I could have taught her some powerful magic ages ago. Outside the window, the vines stretched and swayed, testing how far they could reach. On the rooftop, the sparrows dove down, chirping noisily as they argued with the hen over who was truly the fastest flyer, finally free to abandon their well-behaved act. On the doorstep, a tiny glowing mushroom stretched itself and peeked around. "So she's really gone? How much time do we have?" A deep voice rumbled from the old apple tree by the house. "Not long. Have your fun, but make sure everything is in order before she returns." The entire house burst into lively chaos. Every object relished its rare moment of freedom. But no matter how mischievous they were, they all knew one thing. When Selina returned, everything had to be exactly as she left it. Meanwhile, Selina strolled along the forest path, blissfully unaware that behind her, her little cottage was throwing a magical party of its own. The sun had climbed high, bathing the bustling marketplace in golden light. Selina walked leisurely through the crowd, her sharp eyes scanning the unfamiliar faces around her. Vendors, craftsmen and farmers bustled about, some arranging fresh vegetables, others calling out about piping hot bread, while fur traders boasted about their soft fox and mink pelts. She remained composed, unfazed by the curious glances thrown her way. With the soul of an adult, she understood that the marketplace tested one's patience. She waited, listened, and observed. Since her journey from the forest was long, she could only find a quiet corner of the market when she arrived. Selina arranged her basket of dried grapes, took a deep breath, and called out, "Sweet, delicious dried grapes! Come and have a taste." The surrounding stall owners glanced at her, some chuckling quietly. "Selling dried grapes? This child is so naive. Who would even buy them?" But Selina remained patient. She continued calling out for a long time, yet no one paid her any attention. Undeterred, she silently observed the crowd, mentally gathering experience for future attempts. Just then, the atmosphere in the market suddenly shifted. A ripple of murmurs spread through the crowd. "It's them! The great wizards have come here to buy things themselves!" Selina furrowed her brows slightly, turning her gaze toward the main road. 3 figures, draped in long cloaks that covered them from head to toe, slowly made their way into the marketplace. They walked with a composed demeanour, their sharp eyes scanning every stall. The merchants hurried to straighten their stalls, hoping for a chance to catch their attention. Selina observed them more carefully. One among them stood out, exuding a special aura of authority. His steps were steady, his expression cold and unreadable. That man, walking at the back, was an old sorcerer with piercing eyes who had not uttered a single word since arriving. As they passed by, the old sorcerer suddenly halted. His sharp gaze landed on Selina's basket of dried grapes. Slowly, he stepped forward. "Young lady, what do you have here?" His voice was deep and warm, yet filled with unconcealed curiosity. Selina was momentarily surprised by the way he addressed her, but she quickly regained her composure, gently lifting the cloth to reveal clusters of plump, glistening dried grapes beneath the sunlight. She picked one and handed it to the old man. He took it, examining it closely. First he brought it to his nose and inhaled gently. Then he split it open and carefully tasted it. A flicker of astonishment flashed in his eyes. The two other wizards noticed the change in his expression. Without hesitation, they each took a half of the remaining grape and tasted it themselves. For a brief moment, all three stood in silence, exchanging knowing glances. The grand magic tournament was fast approaching, and for the longest time they had exhausted themselves searching for a viable solution. No one had expected that in a fateful treasure hunt amid the bustling marketplace they would stumble upon a true gem. Within these seemingly ordinary dried grapes lay pure natural energy. For centuries, the world of magic had advanced continuously, but at the cost of the gradual depletion of its original energy sources. The greatest sorcerers had spent sleepless nights searching for the right material for the upcoming battle, only for their hopes to dwindle with each failed attempt. In the end, in their desperation, they had taken a chance. Leaving behind libraries filled with ancient texts and treasure troves of magic, they ventured into ordinary marketplaces, praying that fortune would smile upon them. And as if fate had willed it, they had found it. These dried grapes, seemingly simple, held the purest form of natural energy, scarce yet immensely precious. With these in hand, their victory in the upcoming magical duel was all but guaranteed. The old sorcerer finally spoke, his voice steady, yet the hand hidden within his cloak trembled slightly. "Little girl, how much do you intend to sell these dried grapes for?" Selina felt a surge of joy, but she maintained her composure. She understood that in negotiations, the first to show eagerness would lose. She smiled gently. "Sir, these raisins were meticulously prepared by my own hands. How much do you think they are worth?" But before she could finish her sentence, the old man blurted out, "Handmade?" The three wizards exchanged glances, then turned to scrutinize Selina carefully. The girl before them was only about 8 or 9 years old, with an unassuming appearance, showing no trace of magical aura. How could a mere child possess raisins infused with such pure natural energy, a treasure even ancient wizard families could hardly obtain? Or perhaps— The old man fell into deep thought, his sharp eyes flickering with contemplation. In the world of magic, wonders often lay hidden behind the most ordinary facades. History had recorded many great sorcerers disguising themselves as wandering strangers, roaming the lands and weaving legendary tales. Could this girl be one of them? An enigmatic wizard in disguise, testing those who crossed her path. And now, could her question about the price of these raisins be a test in itself? After a long pause, the old man gritted his teeth and finally spoke in a low, firm voice. "Indeed, this is a rare treasure. We offer 5,000 gold coins." Selina's eyes widened in shock. The highest amount she had dared to hope for was 5 copper coins. Yet these 3 wizards had just nonchalantly offered 5,000 gold coins for a mere basket of raisins. However, when they saw her remain silent, the 3 wizards grew uneasy. Could it be that even this price was too low? Thinking carefully, it made sense. Such a rare treasure was in truth priceless. Yet, unfortunately, this was their entire fortune. Beyond this gold, they had nothing more valuable to offer in trade. They could not let this treasure slip away. The 3 old wizards clutched their heads in distress, their anxiety so intense it seemed their white hair might fall out. Finally, the leader of the trio took a deep breath, struggling to steady his voice. "Lady, 5,000 gold coins is all we have. However, if you accept, we offer you one more thing, a vow of loyalty. From this day forward, should you ever need us, the Castle of Light shall aid you with all our might." Saying this, the old man retrieved a small round object from his robe, a hard nut-like item, and placed it in Selina's palm. "This is the signal nut. If ever you require our assistance, simply toss it into a fire, and we will come at once." Selina licked her dry lips, feeling as if she stood before an impossible opportunity. She could not allow them time to reconsider. "Deal," she nodded firmly,